Okay, so first off, we'll be downloading Ollama. So when we are going to be downloading Ollama, we'll first go to the Ollama website and then we'll click on download. And then we'll select Linux and then copy the install command. So now we're opening the terminal as you can see on the screen. And then after opening the terminal, we'll be pasting the install command and then running it. After running the command, Ollama is downloaded and then installed. After that, we'll be going to the next step, which would be to start the Ollama service. So as you can see here on the screen, on the terminal, we're just waiting for the Ollama to finish downloading and installing. Okay, so as you can see on this part now, we can see a send a message prompt. So let's try sending a message. So for this part here, we've already when we're doing this part here, this means that we've already chosen our Ollama model. So that would be the Ollama 3.21b. So we can find the models that we want to download on the Ollama website, and then we'll just click on the models and then choose a model to download and run. So as you can see here, we're using the Ollama 3.21b. So after copying the command and then returning to the terminal, we're just going to be pasting those commands there and then running it. So this process may take some time depending on the model chosen. Some models are larger, so this means that it would take more time to finish than models that are smaller in size. So let's try sending a message. So let's type something here and then press enter to test it. So let's try tell me a haiku. And here we can see the model has responded and it correctly tells us a haiku. Let's try testing it out again. Let's try sending a different message. Okay, so after installing Ollama, the next step would be to install Docker. So to install Docker, we'll just go to the Docker website, click on this one, install Docker engine, and then all commands and links are in here. We can find them here. So first we'll be setting up the Docker's repository by copying, pasting, and running the commands in the terminal. So let's look for that. This part here. This one, copy paste, go back to the terminal. I'll be opening a different terminal for this, but we don't need to actually open a different terminal. We can keep on using one terminal for the whole process. So I'm just separating them so that you can see the major breakdown of the steps in this activity. So after copy pasting the command, we're just going to run it and then click yes, and then we're just gonna wait for this to finish installing. Okay, now it has finished installing. We have finished installing Docker in our computer. So the next is, if we are using an Ubuntu derivative like Linux Mint or Pop! OS, we could change the version code name to the Ubuntu code name before running the command. So, but since we're using the same thing, I won't actually be changing anything and just copy pasting the command that is indicated on the website. Now we're just waiting for it to finish again, the process. We'll just wait for it to finish. Okay, so after this, we'll be installing the Docker engine. Copy paste and run the command, same process as before. And there. After that, we'll be verifying the Docker installation. So copy paste again the command. There. And then we wait for a few seconds. If everything works correctly, we should be able to see the message that says hello from Docker. And there, as you can see on the screen, there's that message, hello from Docker. So this means that Docker has been installed successfully on the computer. So the last step for this would be to install OpenWebUI. Scrolling down on the website, and then if we see this line here, this header, if Ollama is on your computer, we'll be using that command. So copy paste again the command and then run it. Paste, run. And if we get a permission denied error, we just type in this following commands. There's no more error. So we'll wait for the OpenWebUI to finish installing. So after it has finished installing, and then here we have the OpenWebUI. So let's click this part here, get started. We'll register. We'll be creating the account. And then here, scroll, click this one. Okay, let's go. Okay, so we'll be selecting a model. As you can see, there's this part here. There we can't see any model. It says no results found. So for that, we'll be going back to the terminal, because this means that there's some issue with the connection between WebUI. Go back to the terminal, and then we will be typing in this command. Docker network inspect bridge. So we'll be using this command to check the gateway address. As you can see, gateway 172.17.0.1. You remember that? Clear the terminal, and then let's type in a different command. So we'll be modifying there. we'll be modifying this part here. After this line environment, we'll be adding a different one. So this is for the localhost, the service. So let's type in environment is equivalent to quotation mark Ollama underscore host is equivalent to 172.17.0.1. So I'm using this specific address so that this AI would only be accessible on my computer, but we could also use the 0.0.0.0 address to make sure that the AI would be accessible to everyone. But if we want it to only be accessible on our computer, we'll be using this specific address. So after this, we'll be saving our changes, Control X, and then exit. After that, we are going to type this in. Sudo system ctl daemon -reload. And then we'll be restarting Ollama. So we'll type this command here, sudo system ctl restart Ollama. And then after that, we go back to the browser, we'll close our terminal, go back to the browser, reload this OpenWebUI URL, and then there we can see that we already have a model. This means that the changes were successful in modifying the options for the model that we're going to be using. So after that, let's check this model. So let's type in a message. And then there, let's try telling it to tell us a haiku. And then there. That's it. Thank you.